everybody, welcome to Face the Music. A little bit of a reminder of some music that we used to listen to, and maybe an introduction or a reminder of some music that you might want to listen to from now. Today I thought I would play for you some music by Australian bands. I live in Australia now, so I thought I might play a little bit of music from here. Now, I have already filmed this episode once, and I got in trouble from my husband because I didn't mention In Excess, and I just, it was the obvious choice, and everybody knows In Excess, so you guys can all go find that one out for yourself. So this is just some other music. I don't have to always play the obvious ones, and because they are obvious, you can go find them yourself. So started off today with a band called Daddy Cool, which is an early 1970s band, and they only lasted for a couple of years in the early 70s, but this is a song called Eagle Rock. Now, this song turns up all the time. It's like a classic song here, you know, at intermissions at shows or, sports stadiums. I'll bet you it'll be played by any number of cover bands at pubs around the country tonight. It's just a fun song, and everybody likes it. The original members all reformed again in 2005 for a few shows, and according to the internet, they still get together from time to time to play at music festivals and things like that. It's a good song. And again, that's Daddy Cool. So now I'm going to move on to a band that I think just about everybody knows, and that's Men at Work. This is a song called Overkill by Men at Work. Everybody knows Who Can It Be Now and Land Down Under, but I quite like this song. They had their biggest global success in the 80s, the early 80s, and their music is quite infectious, actually. Everybody likes it. Just got a good beat to it. It's good music. I should just note that there were some legal issues here in Australia surrounding some of their music just recently, like in the last 5 or 6 years, but I don't want to get into that kind of stuff. You can find out about that stuff yourself. Anyway, this is Men at Work, Overkill. Anyway, let's move on to another Australian band that had huge global success, and that's Midnight Oil, or as they're affectionately referred to here, the Oils. They were actually formed in the 1970s and had really big global success. I know in Canada they were huge. And all their music kind of had political undercurrents to it as well, about the treatment of Aboriginals in Australia or what the mining companies were getting up to, that sort of thing. But all their music was really, really good. And this was, they were formed in the 70s, but I became aware of them around the late 80s, early 90s. They had, I think, their biggest success during the 90s. This is Truganini, by the way, by Midnight Oil. My husband and I actually saw these guys a couple of times over the years. We saw them once in London at an old theatre, and we were standing underneath the balcony, and the place was rocking so much, the crowd was so into it. We were underneath this huge, enormous balcony, and there were, up above there, and you can actually see the floor of the balcony going like this. It's kind of scary. Oh, we didn't leave or anything like that. I should just clarify that. Stay for the rest of the show. Then we saw them here in Sydney in 2002. They have these things here called Leagues Clubs, RSL clubs, and they are a bit like Legions in Canada, only a bit snazzier. And they played there. Midnight Oil played there in 2002, so we went and checked them out. And then about 2 weeks later, they announced they were over. They were finished. That was it. They were calling it a day. The lead singer, Peter Garrett, he trained in university as a lawyer, and he always had political aspirations. So he then ran in the federal elections and became a federal MP here in Australia and held several portfolios over the course of his career, and then decided not to run in the elections here in 2013 here in Australia. So I think he's just kind of retired now. But he was a real rock and roll looking kind of guy, so to make that jump to politics was quite a leap, really. Not that he wasn't up for it, but it was good. So now I'm going to move on to a group called Bag Raiders. They're described as a dance pop duo. They were a couple of guys that met at high school here in Sydney, and then formed this duo. So they, I don't know, they may fall into that DJ producer kind of bag of artists. And this is a song called Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars was released in 2009 and had quite a bit of success then. And then last year in 2013, a contestant went on Australia's Got Talent and danced to this song. And he was quite successful. He didn't win or anything, but he did quite well. And this is the first song that he danced to, and it resulted in Shooting Stars 4 years after it had been released, going back into the top 40 in Australia due to downloads as a result of this guy dancing on Australia's Got Talent. Anyway, huge, highly energetic song, good for when you're out running, but that's an episode for another day. Then I just want to move on to the last song I want to play for you tonight. Is a band called Tame Impala, which is like the little antelopes, and they are described as psychedelic rockers. And this is a song called "Feels Like We Only Go Backwards" by Tame Impala. I feel like I've been watching an Austin Powers movie when I listen to this. It's got that psychedelic, groovy thing happening, maybe. And there's a great cover of this online by the Arctic Monkeys, or maybe only one Arctic Monkey. I'm not sure how many of them are there, but Alex Turner does a cover of this online, so you can check that out as well. Anyway, here's a little bit of Aussie music for you. Just remember, I don't hold the copyright to this music. That rests with the copyright holder. And buy all your music. Don't steal music. Give the artists the credit they deserve. Thanks for watching.